All right. Welcome to Friday Night Fate. We are back in the city of Portland, Maine with the irascible crew that hasn't quite figured out what's going on, but that's okay because that maybe will happen tonight. I am your DM/GM for the evening, Adam Pearson. You can find me at Adam_J_Pearson on the tweeters and here every Friday night and some other times as well because Variant Rules is kind of where I live. We'll introduce ourselves and then figure out what happened last time in Portland. So let's start with Nick.
Hello, I am Nick. You can find me at 2KNick on Twitter. I use he, him pronouns, and I will be playing Percy, who is at... Which one would you like today, Adam? What are the aspects?
Yeah, let's remind the party and the viewers at home one of your aspects that is not your high concept or your trouble.
Okay, he is a ghost-seeing private investigator who is trying to win back the wizard's trust.
Trying to win back the wizard's trust, yes, and maybe perhaps doing a good job of it. All right, from there we will slide across to Danielle.
Hi everybody, I'm Danielle and I am playing Harmony Ward, who is one of the aforementioned wizards. And Harmony has as one of her aspects, I didn't mean to do that, which may become relevant at some point.
Excellent. And continuing on to Selena.
Hi, I'm Selena. You can find me at ABCDBar on the Twitters. I am playing Nikki or Nicole Anderson, who is the future alpha of her werewolf pack.
The future alpha indeed. Although there definitely was some showdowns last time.
Oh,
so
yes.
How that goes. Continuing on to the returning Natalie.
Hi, I am Natalie, also known as Chaotic Rogue. That's where you can find me online, just at Chaotic Rogue. I use she, they pronouns, and I'm playing Kasara, she, her pronouns, who. I mean, so I missed last week, and my trouble, for the record, is daddy issues, although I think I've dropped that a couple times already, that it might be. And then one of my other aspects that I keep threatening this group with is flirting with danger, which is something that Kasara is probably going to do soon.
Perhaps very soon indeed. Yes. And continuing on to everyone's favorite Puka cat burglar, Cole/CJ.
Everyone's as opposed to all the other Puka cat burglars, that's fair. I'm CJ Hunter. I am at Commander Pulsar on Twitch and the Twitter. And Cole is one of his other aspects is, I guess, drive it like you stole it, as in Yes,
indeed.
No concept at all.
Yeah, there might be some stealing shenanigans again.
Let the good times roll. That's what
we'll see. And last, but certainly not least, Zach.
Hi, I'm Zach. I use he, him pronouns. I can be found at Sir Gorals on Twitter. I am playing Andy, resident wizard dad, also uses he, him pronouns. And one of his other aspects that has not come up yet is groomed for a purpose, which he definitely is going to maybe play into today.
Indeed. So this is our crew, this is our group, and we will see what will happen tonight. So, before we begin tonight, previously in the city of Portland, the crew got into some, not breaking and entering, but definitely entering with the intent of maybe breaking. And they were trying to track down this White Court vampire that fled the scene from the second game. And some things ensued. Cole, being Cole, was very sneaky, and Nikki gave him some pretty good cover for continuing to sneak. And Cole found some back rooms, some unlocked doors, and some shouting conversations in a language he does not understand. In the end, Cole decided not to continue down the stairs, despite perhaps his better demons telling him to do it. And before he could get out, Yara International arrived and spotted Nikki.
Well, more like I spotted them, but yeah.
Well, you were staring at them, which drew their attention because you were not fooled by their glamour.
Well, no, I walked behind them and made myself known.
That's true as well. And you did in fact announce yourself to Yara. And Yara was like, "Oh, we know who you are. Why are you here?"
Yeah,
and
I made some mistakes.
Decided to bring you in front of the Lord of the Manor, Lord Malvora. And you decided to accuse one of his underlings of being at the scene of a crime. And given that you are a pretty big wig in the supernatural community, that was apparently all Yara needed to execute this White Court vampire immediately. Which Nikki was perhaps a little shocked. I don't know. Was Nikki a little shocked that was the end result?
I had the assumption that was probably what was going to be how he was going to be dealt with. But yeah, Nikki for sure was just like, "Oh shit, I didn't even realize I had that much clout." Even I didn't even know I could do that to somebody.
Lord Malvora was perhaps not that happy that he had to let that happen. So you all kind of left with the wizards about to bust in, and then suddenly everyone was kind of coming back out the door, and you all thankfully did not cause a ruckus with Yara International, and you were a little bit stumped of what to do, and so you decided to go see Uncle Garg in the north. You then talked to Uncle Garg, who, while being perhaps humorous, did offer you some insights here and there, mainly that he had no idea what you were talking about these malts and what they were doing or why they're missing. He respected malts because they are good hunters, but he had no notions that something was afoot or anything was amiss. He promised to keep his ear out, but he doesn't really, hang with Winter Fae, so he probably won't know much. Before you could leave, though, Nikki and the rest of you got to meet her family. A very warm and happy gathering that wasn't at all angry and full of a slight touch of misogyny. And you basically got a little bit of an ultimatum from your dad that said, knock it off. I never want to be called by a vampire ever again. And Andy stepped up to the plate and took some of the heat off of your shoulders and promised that nothing would blow back on his pack ever again. Or at least about this.
Yeah.
And you all got in the car and got the hell out of Dodge. Though Percy managed to get in some last biting remarks because Kasara's not the only one with father problems, apparently. Because we all know in role-playing games, the family is the first to go.
I did technically, though, run home because I needed to.
Yes.
Other than that, yeah. Very Nikki happy episode today.
So, we pick up about 2 days later. You all are back in Portland. Kasara is back from visiting her mother, which seemingly went swimmingly. No shenanigans ensued as far as you know, Kasara. You managed to not draw any attention or ire on your mother or yourself. And you had a lovely visit. And it is 2 days later. And where do we find any of you? what is the scene that we see next?
I'd probably be, depending on what time it is, I might be working.
Okay, so out in the forest. That's fair.
Yeah.
I would like to a scene with since I owe Nick one. I'm gonna drag Percy with me to break into Morgan's house.
Okay, that is definitely a scene we can do. So you do in fact have the driver's license, and it does list an address.
Mm-hmm.
So you are easily able to find it. You will note that it is also in Parkside. It is not like right next door to where you were.
That would be hilarious.
But it's in that same neighborhood, and it's like 2 blocks over and like 3 blocks up.
So you can just walk to work.
It's like right on the edge of the Parkside neighborhood, and so it's still in the bad part of town, but it's like right on the border of the good part of town.
Sure. So apartments are still cheap, but nice.
Yeah, and you get the sense based on his driver's license and how the address is spelled out that it is in fact an apartment. It's not a home. So it's one of these massive, like big old Victorian, not Victorian, but big houses that have been like cut into pieces and basically all have their own little apartments. He lives in one of those.
Okay, no worries. All right. Yeah, I'd say Percy, I guess, keep an eye out. I don't know if are there ghosts of vampires? I have no idea.
Manny kind of like looks at you and goes,
fair enough. Just keep an eye out, I guess.
Manny's pretty new to this whole ghost thing too.
Yeah, haven't seen one yet, but haven't gone looking for one.
Why would you? Okay, sure. But I mean, I can get us in there. You would probably know better about, what might be significant here.
All right. Yeah. Get the door open.
Yeah. I think that's easily doable. I expect that's a.
Oh, is it easily doable?
Oh no! Oh no!
Wow. Okay. First roll of the night is the worst possible roll you can get in Fate is a -4. I think I'm going to spend a Fate point.
I was gonna say, what aspect are we invoking?
I think maybe fingers in a couple of pies.
Okay.
Might be a good one, and I'm gonna try that whole roll business again.
Yeah, let's get that out now. Yeah. I mean, that's a lot better.
It is a lot better. I don't know if it's good enough to get the door open, but
so
I rolled a -1 instead of -4.
-4. Yeah, so your good lockpick burglary is able to get through the door. It wasn't a hard lock, but a -4 to a 0 was not going to do it. You were correct.
Absolutely.
So you managed to like very quickly and easily just, and the door opens.
You try it once and it doesn't quite hang on, and you different tools and just.
Yeah, you were expecting a normal tumbler lock, and it was old, like almost skeleton key tumblers, and so you were like, "Oh, I need heavy lockpicks for this."
Got it.
So the door opens easily.
Yeah. I would say after you, but no, just in case. I'm gonna go in, and then let Percy come in behind, because if I get hurt, I can handle it.
Okay. You walk into a room that smells a little funky. This is the best way to describe it. Very bachelor-esque pad. Doesn't smell like it's been cleaned recently. And perhaps there's even something rotting in the trash.
Okay, so more bachelor dorm room funk and not like dead body funk. Okay.
Yeah, you don't smell dead body funk. You definitely are getting a ode to not a very cleanly person.
Yeah, that's that milk. Here, smell this. Yeah.
No, I'm not going to smell that.
And
Is this off to you?
It's on one of the second story apartments. It's got a little bitty great room, like a living room that kind of meshes into the kitchen. So there's the cooking area, but the kitchen kind of bleeds into the living room, and then around the back, you assume is the rest of the apartment. It doesn't look very big, probably 200 square feet, maybe 300 square feet.
Okay. Got it.
So it's a dinky little hole where you are right now.
Sure. All right. Well, this shouldn't be too hard to roll the place.
Speaking of roll, I am going to roll for investigating.
Yeah, there we go.
Does. I don't know if I have to specify, but if I do, I'm specifically looking for any contacts that he might have.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
All right, so I got a +0 to get to 5.
May I assist this investigation with my one little bit of investigation? Is kind of finding stuff and going, is this important?
Yeah, you can give him a +1 to get to a superb, a fantastic investigation roll. And as predicted by Cole, turning this place over is not very hard. You run through the things, and you find a calendar with like dates marked in certain ways, but no discernible information. Like they seem to be marked in different ways, but like that's it. Like you don't see a legend or anything like that. So whatever system this Morgan fellow was using, seemingly. He knew it, so he didn't have to write it down. You actually find an answering machine, but it looks like it's got 0 messages on it currently. And you find with a 6, you find a small little hidden compartment underneath one of the like room tables that pops out, and it has what looks to be a few $1,000s in cash and a gun.
Right. I take the gun and hand the money to Cole.
I love this division of labor. Yes.
Cole, because you are a thief and you know better, you know that the money is fake.
Oh, nice.
You know that it's counterfeit maybe, or something else. Like it doesn't feel right. It's like, no, this feels weird.
Oh, I need to get rid of this. Why? Okay. So clearly Morgan is not some kind of mastermind here. This is okay. So he's not the guy, and Tommy Boy isn't the guy in prison in the Malks, because if Tommy Boy was the guy in prison in the Malks, he wouldn't be yelling about it, I guess, unless he was yelling about getting caught.
Yeah, I would think that he might. I wouldn't cross his name off yet.
Well, no. But so who is the smarty pants in this operation?
You think these symbols would mean, and I've jotted down all the symbols from the calendar. You think these symbols would mean anything to our 2 magical friends?
That's what I was thinking. Like, man, it don't mean crap to me, but I'm not a wizard, so.
Or even our possible vampiric friend?
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. We don't know any vampires.
Question.
Yep.
Is there a symbol on the calendar for the night in which Percy was fed on?
No.
Okay.
But there was a symbol the night you all busted in his place.
Oh.
This might be sales and acquisitions here.
Oh man. All right.
Perhaps he was going to offload on this, and I played to that symbol. Offload on this symbol, maybe. I don't know.
That's gonna, man, that'll make me so mad if we missed him by hours.
Not me. I'm kind of glad there was no one there or one person
Well, I mean,
there.
that's not what I mean, but I mean, it's just honestly, all we would have had to do is let them mouse out, and the situation would have been a little bit more in our favor.
All right.
Well, maybe not in our favor, but less in theirs. How about that?
Our favor if we ran. So
Yeah, Sharknado don't care.
help me out here. I want to make it look like this wasn't an investigation, and I start grabbing anything that looks expensive, including electronics, and then like
Smashing them?
Yeah, no, grabbing it to take, like someone.
Oh,
came in
thank
to
goodness!
rob the place.
Thank you. Yes. Jeez. Why would you smash it perfectly? I know
It's finally nice to work with a professional.
So why would you smash that perfectly good flat screen? I know a guy.
I would say that most of his stuff is easy to carry because he doesn't have a lot.
Yeah.
It looks like this is almost like he comes home, he sleeps here, and then he leaves.
Yeah.
Wow. Except all of that in the past tense because he's dead.
I'm betting there's no food in the fridge.
You can certainly look. There's no food in the fridge, but in the freezer there are a bunch of frozen TV dinners.
Okay.
Wait,
Sure.
I guess vampires eat. Do vampires eat food?
I don't know.
Manny, do vampires eat food?
He goes,
Okay.
he can talk to you, and he's like, I died. I didn't get like hit by a knowledge train. Like,
Yeah, but you were smarter than me before.
what do you really know about vampires?
All right, fine. You make fair points.
There's no handbook for the recently deceased.
Death doesn't make you smarter.
Well, there's
Fair,
one
all
less
right.
thing to look forward to, I guess.
All right, fair enough. And I guess, the door open in or out? Swings in.
The doors swung out.
Okay. Huh. Damn it, that's gonna make it a lot harder.
Is there any windows, like on the porch area?
Yeah, you know that because it's the old skeleton key lock. If you broke the window and reached in, you could just unlock it and open the door.
Okay, yeah, get something to smash that window. Look like we broke in, like normal folks.
I'm gonna get to the car first. You go ahead and do that.
Okay,
I'm gonna start that up.
That's probably a good idea. Just remember, I'm driving.
Yeah.
And without much further problem, you're able to get away because I rolled really bad on your neighbors figuring out what you were doing.
That's what I was concerned about. Like, we smash it, and then we both just kind of stand there like, all right, now everyone knows we're here.
I was just gonna throw fake money at him, but whatever.
We'll say that the scene closes as Percy and Cole are driving away from Morgan's apartment. So, where do we go next?
Wish I'd learned more from that. But all right.
I had a question. Would Andy know what the proper protocol would be to like get in touch with a certain powerful vampire to like set a formal meeting?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
You would basically send like very old school, like a letter, like a little calling card of intent. Like, I would like to have a meeting with you. And usually it would include like, you would pick a neutral ground of your choice or a meeting ground of your choice. Typically, supernatural people pick the neutral grounds, but you could pick his home.
That would be a terrible, even worse idea, I feel like. So,
I am just giving you all of the information. I'm not going to judge your terrible idea or not.
Fair enough. So Andy, over these last couple of days, would have like worked on drafting a letter, then to, I guess he probably would have addressed it to Thomas Welker, Lord of the Malvora clan of Portland.
You could have done that, or you could have just, instead of outing him, you could have just addressed it to Lord Malvora, and that would have been perfectly fine.
Okay, he'd do that then. the least like calling out that he can be. Asking him for a peaceful meeting with. I would have asked to meet with him and one other person of his choosing. Like we could both bring a second. Essentially, I wouldn't word it that way, but like
Yeah, that is. Yeah. Okay.
And would have picked a neutral ground. So we have two here, right? We have Sushi Books and we have W.
Yep, the W.
Probably the W, because Andy knows mortal people who work at Sushi Books because they sell his books there. So.
Okay. So the W. So you send that letter. We'll say you send that letter early on in the first, so word has come to you that Lord Malvora is willing to see you. Okay. He and his colleague will meet you at the W at the prescribed time. And it says the time below, essentially 10 o'clock. Or whenever they open. We'll say they open at noon. So noon at the W. Because it's a pub, so they don't before noon.
If I wanted to do my personal magnetism thing for my passive presence thing, would that be something I would do now or when we first meet in person? Or
that would be something you do as you're interacting with them.
Okay. And then, so having that back, he would call Kasara. Because he wants.
That was the greatest double reaction of Kasara being and Nikki's head popped up fuck.
I mean, he feels like he's gonna need a vampire on his side, so. Anyway, yeah, he calls Cass.
A vampire. That's what this party is, right?
Yeah.
Aha! I also brought a vampire.
Yes. I am also not left-handed.
Yeah, I did bring a vampire to a vampire fight. Aha!
Yeah. Exactly.
She doesn't know what she's doing exactly, but.
So, Kasara, do you accept?
Yes. Partially because she's kind of just really wanted to meet another vampire at this point, and that was kind of half the intention when she started this whole charade of take Percy, get trap a vampire, but also simultaneously lay off my clients because she's still somewhat convinced of that. So it's a weird combination of the two things. So yes.
Okay.
Probably very foolishly, yes.
So at noon, y'all head down to the W.
There will be some heavy sighs. There will be heavy sighs.
The worst part is Nikki probably thinks Cass is still at her mom's.
Oh, would you have told me that you came back to town? I figured you would tell me.
Yeah, probably. But it depends on how soon this was. As soon as I got back, if I've had the chance to.
You can decide. You can decide right now.
It's pretty soon after you got back, so she might have been calling you that she's back in town as she's pulling into the W to go to this meeting.
In which case, it's actually probably a text. Hey, back in town, doing a thing. Let's meet up later.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
And then your phone dies because you're with a wizard.
Yeah. And then I realized that. Right.
Yeah, I made a point to bring everybody burner phones last game.
Yeah, but Cass wasn't here.
I wasn't there. I don't have a burner phone yet.
Sadly, you
can
weren't
give
here.
Me one later tonight when we meet up.
Yeah, sure.
Exactly. So you all head into the W. There has been a private area cordoned off, and the owner kind of gives you a nod as you walk in and kind of motions to the back. Right this way, Mr. Wells. And he leads you into the back where you see man from TV, Thomas Welker himself, standing, kind of looking out a window, and we've said that the W is kind of down on the wharf area, so it like has a nice view of just like out into the bay / towards the Atlantic, and he's just kind of like got his hands behind his back, clasped slightly, and is just staring off into the bay, and you can kind of tell he's a little tense, not really sure what's about to go down. A vague bag, a mix of emotions. But more importantly, sitting at the table, which has been set up for all of you, is a woman with platinum blonde hair. She appears to be relatively young, though her looks are very ethereal, and so it's hard to put an age on it. But she smiles as you enter and says, "Oh, welcome. We got your note and we are happy to discuss with you. Father, the guests have arrived."
Should I make that presence roll now?
Sure.
Okay. Oh, good. Nothing. So 2.
So remind me again what your stunt does.
It gives me a +2 on presence rolls to have like as like a first impression.
Okay. That's right. Now I remember. So he turns, and you see his eyes like focus on you, because you were the one that called the meeting, and he potentially even knows Anderson Wells a little bit, given that you are a resident wizard, and he sizes you up very quickly and kind of gives you a very small nod of his head as a indication of respect and kind of acknowledgement that you are enough of a threat to be worth coming and like talking to you. If you were too weak, he would probably be pissed off that you had the gall to summon him, but it doesn't seem to be that. He doesn't seem angry at you.
Gotcha.
He then slides his glance over to Kasara and kind of gives her a very puzzled, confused look. And his gaze lingers for a moment as if trying to find the answer to a question he can't remember, and then kind of dismisses Kasara for a moment and is just like, okay, whatever. And says, "Please, would you join us? You have something to say to us." And he pulls out his chair and motions for you all to join him at the table.
Thank you for agreeing to meet. And I'll pull out my own chair and go to sit.
I must admit, Mr. Wells, I am only slightly confused as to why your invitation arrived. I do not quite understand its reasoning.
Well, I don't wish to cause any trouble, but we have a mutual interest, I think, in some current events that involved a certain visit to the museum by Yara International the other day.
He does that thing that Butcher talks about in the books where he goes still. Like when Thomas goes still because he's a vampire and he's not really a human and he can just go absolutely still. Mr. Welker goes absolutely still as he looks at you and says,
Cool, doing good.
I'm not sure what you are referring to.
Well, it seems there's been some trouble involving some unwise decisions and some fae. And I don't want that situation to get worse and intend to make sure that it doesn't. I'm sure you don't want any situation with the fae to worsen either. So I hoped that knowing I was looking into this, you would agree to help me keep it from getting worse.
As you are speaking, you feel the temperature start to.
Right.
And Kasara, this is the first time perhaps you've ever felt a vampire doing something on the outside.
Yep.
And you start to feel the temperature ratchet down slowly.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, I do not much like anyone meddling in outside affairs. Nor do I like outsiders at all. But certain institutions, and you get the sense you know who he's talking about, without naming any names, unfortunately forced me to play by a certain set of rules. I've paid my due for mistakes. I want nothing more to do with this. He kind of gives you a very blank stare.
Cass is watching very intently. I'm gonna start off by saying she was starting off this conversation by looking at the girl for the most part. But while he's speaking, she very much is staring him down. Is there any sorts of tells or anything like that would indicate that he's being on the level or not?
So you are trying to read someone.
Yeah.
That sounds very much like either, no, because that's kind of that. So I think that would be an empathy roll.
Good. Also, I'm using my pretty shiny new dice, which I'm very excited for. Oh boy. Okay, so I got 2 minuses and a plus, so -1 from my 5. So that's still a +4, so that's a great.
Okay, that's a great. You easily tell that he is holding back a lot of anger. He's very angry. You've been kind of caught up about like maybe, we'll say Nikki called you while you were still away and like, you will not believe what happened today. So you kind of have a general gist of what happened.
Yep.
But I think now you finally are able to understand what happened. Like he is barely keeping it together. And you only know this because you're really good at reading people. Like to the outside world, he seems like a still pond.
Yeah.
But you're able to tell that he kind of wants to reach across the table, grab Andy, and throw him out the window because he's just so pissed.
Mm-hmm.
He just wants to recklessly break things with abandon. He can't because he's got a face to maintain.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that he's angry at Anderson. You also figure that out. Like he's just angry. He's just pissed.
Yeah.
He is in fact wrathful. And all of that word means. And so by Andy talking about this problem, it's like kind of poking at a wound that isn't healed yet. So it's not great. But you do sense that he thinks this matter is settled and that his people, for lack of a better phrase, are out of this and that there's nothing more to talk about. That's kind of the read you get on him.
I understand you have already paid, since just going to keep poking at this problem. And you certainly have paid your due. My worry is that the problem hasn't been solved because of what I have seen of it. And I don't want anyone else to have to pay for what's going on beyond who is actually responsible.
As you say that, he leans forward and gets very close. And you see his eyes start to ever so slightly turn a little flecks of silvers. If you would bring me those responsible for making me lose face, then we might talk.
At the risk of being too forward, do you have any clue where I might begin to look for those responsible?
It is quite forward, and I do not.
I had to ask.
And at that point, the young woman, like at his arms, Dad, this is boring. Can we please go? Why do we have to sit here with these kin? Or excuse me, kind.
Sarah
Oh,
actually smiles as soon as she starts speaking. I'm sorry, I don't think we were properly introduced. My name's Kasara, and she'll actually put out her hand to shake the girls.
Oh no.
And she kind of gets this disinterested and like looks at your hand as if you've just offered her a fish, like a dead fish, kind of like that is like the facialist.
Oh yeah.
I'm Annabelle Malvora. And you see Thomas Welker just like, we're in public, dear. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Anna Welker.
kind of looking over at Kasara like, what are you doing?
I wish
Flirting with
Sarah.
danger, obviously.
I mean,
told you that aspect was going to come up. What a pleasure to meet you, Annabelle.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's one-sided.
Woo!
good
All
lord.
that shade.
Oh, Natalie, you're muted for some reason.
Better?
Yep.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. My mic just did something stupid. Well, it seems as though you have some issues you'd like to sort out. If you ever want anybody to talk to, and she'll actually slide across her business card.
Oh jeez.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh shit.
Yeah, you definitely get a fate point for that. You definitely get a fate point for that.
I mean, of course.
You didn't flirt with danger. You like tried to jump in its lap. She like looks down at the business card, and for a second she gives you this like, and then looks down at it again, and like puts her hand on it, is like whatever, and like tucks it away.
And she'll just relax back in her seat.
Mr. Welker,
Yes, Mr. Wells.
there is one other thing that I would like you to know. That
This sounds very much like the beginning of an ultimatum, Mr.
No.
Wells.
no, I only thought you should know that Miss Anderson is working with me.
You should be careful. What help and pets you keep?
Oh god. I'm
Well,
glad I'm not there. This would be totally different if I was there.
if we're talking about pets, then might I remind you that only one of us has an associate with cold iron cages.
Yes, and he is dead now. So I remind you, be careful of the pets you keep. Sometimes they bite the hand that feeds them. And you get the sense that he's not threatening you, but like he literally lost one of his family
Right.
members because he was doing something stupid. So he's actually giving you like this little bitty warning.
Yeah.
He's giving it in a very shitty way, but he's giving you a tiny little warning.
That is if somebody ever called him on it, like, what? I was giving them good advice.
It's like the most backhanded compliment or most backhanded piece of advice ever.
Yeah.
I
Cass is just
will
glaring through that, though. She's not happy.
keep that in mind. Thank you.
Of course. Are we
Should
done?
I learn? Yes. If and when I learn anything about who is actually responsible for what has happened,
You know how to contact me.
I do.
Come, Anna. We have dinner reservations somewhere else. Kind of like pushes the chair back. Good day, Mr. Wells, and guest, and just kind of walks away.
She just smiles.
As soon as they're gone, Andy just like slumps back in his chair. Just
Oh my god.
You okay?
Yeah, I don't often talk to lords of vampiric houses, so little intense.
I think it went rather well.
We're still alive, so yes, it didn't feed on us.
He was angry. Not necessarily at you, but just everything.
Well, you've heard what happened, right?
Yeah, I mean, Nikki filled me in. More or less.
He
Unless
lost
I
a
missed something.
he lost he lost standing with Yara probably, and if and when word gets out about what happened with the supernatural community and a family member, he has plenty to be angry about, unless this is something else. I don't know Mr. Welker very well, at least my reputation, but their reputation hasn't, so far as I know, included being unreasonably mad about things. Smarmy, maybe.
Yeah. Still maybe good to be cautious for the next bit when dealing with them.
I think caution's always good when dealing with the White Court.
I wouldn't know. I've only had to deal with myself.
Well, gestures to the seats that they just vacated.
Well, who knows? Maybe one of them becomes a client, and maybe I can get more information that way.
Yeah, you and Annabelle certainly seem to hit it off real well.
Oh, you're muted again.
What?
You were muted
Now
again.
you're back.
Okay.
You're back.
I think something with my wiring is weird. Huh. Yeah, well, she's got something strange going on, I think. I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know vampire family dynamics. Which reminds me, I have a question for you sometime
Okay.
about yours.
I only really know about what I've been told about.
Well, it's not actually about your father. It's more about your mom.
Okay. What about her?
I'm just curious about her. Like, what kind of woman is she?
I mean, she's a badass who kept me away from someone who wasn't going to be a good father. So,
But is she human, or that might be an indelicate question.
I mean, and you see this look on Kasara's face of it's never quite occurred to her to ask her about that because she just knows she's not a vampire, or she just thinks she's not a vampire. So you see this look on her face of I honestly don't know. Come to think of it.
I don't know how much you know about your biological father.
Mhm.
People don't get away from him. Ever.
Really?
He's pretty infamous for if something is his, it's his. Like forever. So I don't doubt you, but I'm just amazed. That's why I'm curious about the woman who got away from him.
Huh.
That's someone very remarkable.
I mean, I've always thought she's remarkable, but I didn't quite know that. So, and now that I know a bit more, I'll see. Maybe she's not completely as she seemed. I
Well,
don't know.
we all have something.
That is very true. You're very worn out, aren't you?
I've been doing this for a long time.
Doesn't it get tiresome, lonely?
Yes. Particularly when the people you thought you could rely on, it turns out you couldn't. When you were brought up thinking this certain group would support you and that they were doing it for a reason, and then when you needed them, they aren't there. Yeah, it feels lonely, tiring. I came here to, I don't know, be alone, I suppose. But then I met, I met Harmony, and then slowly have met all of you.
Not to sound too much like my profession, but you sound like you could use some therapy.
I'm not sure a therapist would know where to start, but maybe so. I know someone who apparently is a decent therapist, so.
And I'm taking clients, so.
At
Luckily,
that, I think we will.
It's a good spot, actually. It's pretty perfect.
So, Harmony,
Yes.
Nikki, what y'all doing? I don't know. Well, Nikki's at work. So Harmony.
Yeah, at least right now.
Yeah, so Harmony probably goes. I mean, I feel like because I'm a professor, quote unquote, my hours are fairly fluid, so I can kind of be in and out of the university.
Speaking with experience, yes, you can.
So I wanted to invoke my Earn Summer's Ire aspect to gain some sort of contact on the Winter Court that I could go to for some information to see if they know anything about, Mulks disappearing and
Yeah.
things like
So you spend that fate point and you have a contact that you can contact. What does this contact look like, sound like? Do you have any thoughts or ideas?
Not really. The one idea I really had is that kind of as like a means of summoning and or gaining their attention, Harmony has a ring made of pine needles, like evergreen pine needles that have been wound together into a ring.
Okay.
But
Cool.
as far as like who this person is in the court system, I truly don't know. I haven't gotten that far.
Perfect. That's easy because actually, I'll give you a hint. No matter who you picked, I was going to give this to Cole.
Of course, I will accept. And of course, I know exactly.
Because the Faye ex-girlfriend was going to replace whomever you picked, but instead we'll just say she shows up.
Oh yeah.
So let me open this real quick so I don't screw it up. If I remember correctly. Yeah. So you basically put the ring on and you twist it. And you feel this sensation of cold kind of creep down your hand. And it gets to like about here on your arm. And then you feel it slowly, ever so slowly, start to like warm back up. And you get a sense that it's kind of like a timer. Like you've sent out the summons, and then as your arm gets warmer, you feel that they're eventually going to get closer. And at about the time that the warmth returns to about near your finger is, a woman, let's see, did you describe her, Cole? I don't think you did.
I mean...
So why don't you describe her for us?
Okay, well, Melusine is pale, in that kind of pale where like the veins almost make your skin blue. A little bit of, is she okay? She got a little hypothermia going on, sort of pale. Long dark hair, very traditionally beautiful. I guess a little French, I guess, as far as kind of Gallic features.
Okay.
If that makes any sense. I don't know.
Yep, it does. I know what you mean.
I should have looked up some actresses.
No, that's fine. I got it. I got a picture. So yeah, where did you put your ring on, and where did you twist it?
I probably went somewhere a little bit private, probably outdoors, because that seems better. So like maybe somewhere on the university grounds that's fairly secluded.
Okay, we'll say without looking at Google Maps that you find a spot. Maybe it's even one of your favorite reading spots because you've also like triangulated it's as far away from technology as you possibly can get and still be on the campus grounds. So you're not like constantly shorting out computer labs and projectors in people's classrooms.
Yep.
Which would annoy the everyone.
Probably near like a little stream or something because I think if I remember right, Cole, correct me if I'm wrong, that Melusine is
a water spirit.
A water spirit, yeah.
Yeah.
Also running water short circuits magic, and I'm sure that didn't occur to you at all.
So yeah, as your hand kind of starts almost being warm, you watch as stepping out of the water is this woman that Cole just described. She kind of flicks her hair back, and it just stays perfectly where she wants it. And she strides forward, and she says, "Ah, you must be the infamous Harmony Ward. How may I help you?"
Hi. And who might I have the pleasure of speaking with today?
You may call me Mel.
Mel. Well, Mel, I am helping a few friends investigate a matter of some significance to the Winter Court, and I was curious if you knew anything about some Malks disappearing recently, or if perhaps you knew someone else I could speak to who knew of something.
Interesting you should ask. In fact, there is something going on. We're not sure what, and I have to say it's driving me insane.
Well, perhaps I could help with that.
I do like help. I do not like owing people favors, though.
Well, my help would be in exchange for your information.
Deal. So we know that at least a dozen Malks have gone missing, and we haven't the foggiest who's taking them.
And when did they go missing?
Over the last few months, actually.
Several at a time, or just one or two now and then?
We're not really sure. You see, well, maybe you don't see. Malks are... Have you ever owned a cat?
When I was growing up, I had one.
Malks are like that, but worse. They do whatever they want, and they go wherever they feel like it, and they eat whatever they think they should eat. They're really kind of a pain in the ass.
But despite that, I'm sure the Winter Court still cares about finding out what's happened.
Cares is such a delicate word, Harmony.
Has a vested interest, then.
Maybe. We care more about the fact that someone is poaching And that's not very nice. And Yara doesn't seem to be able to do a damn thing about it. And that's vexing, because they won't let us do anything.
Yeah, I can see where that would be very, very frustrating. Do you know where the Malks disappeared from?
Sadly, we do not. They are sneaky buggers. Which works against them when they're being kidnapped.
Obviously. Is there anyone else who might know more? Or...
Well, I'm certain the person that's taking them knows a
well,
lot
of
more.
Course. But I don't know who that is yet. It's making it very hard.
Oh, I like your confidence.
Anyone else who would know more about... Actually, I've changed my mind. Do Malks have any particular vulnerabilities?
Well, we all...
Other than iron, of course.
Yes, the Bane is very nasty. Other than that, they don't... She kind of like trails off and then looks at you and smiles, like a very wide smile.
I smile back, because this is totally okay.
That's not really information you've paid for.
That's fair. But you do understand.
I told you that I would give you information about the captures. Unfortunately, what they're vulnerable to...
That's fair. You understand I'm just asking in the interests of providing the best possible help I can.
Oh, of course. Of course.
And there's nothing else going on that might be related.
I'm not sure what you mean.
So obviously we know the Malks are disappearing, but has anything else changed in the recent months since the Malks started to disappear? Has anyone been acting strangely or...
At that, you kind of get... She kind of like rocks back on her heels slightly as you see her very quickly like making like, Well, I suppose it's just connected enough, but something is going on with the lighthouses.
The lighthouses?
Indeed.
What
I'm
sort
afraid I
of
can't say more than that, though. They are not within my domain.
Ah.
But we've heard whispers that something is going on.
Interesting.
But I am very excited for you to find whomever is doing this. I would like to meet them personally.
I'm sure you would. We'll see if that can be arranged.
I certainly hope so.
Thank you very much for your time.
Of course.
It was a pleasure meeting you.
It was a delight meeting you, and please tell Cole hello from me. And she just steps back into the water and...
Okay. I'm gonna guess that I probably don't know that this is Cole's ex-girlfriend.
Nope.
Yeah, so
Nope.
I'll just be like, And I don't have a cell phone, so I can't call Cole. So
Nope.
I'll probably just if I know if Cole has a hangout, like a place where he hangs out frequently or something like that I like know I can reasonably expect to find him, I will immediately go there and stake it out.
Okay. So as we pull back from Harmony, Nikki, what are you doing at work?
Probably just like patrolling, keeping an eye out, making sure there's no bears getting close to campsites. You know, just kind of making sure everything's all cool. And then when I have a chance, I want to go. Where is it? Where are my notes? Where is
Only
it?
one doing her damn job.
Yeah.
Like a good park ranger, damn it.
I tried to get new clients, thank you.
I gotta keep up appearances, man.
A maladjusted wizard and a vampire. Yes.
I would actually head to the docks to see Al and talk to her, or them, I should say.
Yes, technically them. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll open on you being like, I need a long lunch break. I'm going, bye, and just like driving away. Like you don't actually like have to say that because you're the only one working in the forest, so you can just drive away. But maybe like you justify it yourself by saying, I'm taking a long lunch.
Yeah, it's a situation where it's like there are other people who know kind of my deal because it's like kind of like almost like a family run kind of situation. I would think.
Yeah, I would say your family is heavily invested in the Parks and Recreation Department in Maine. And may or may not run most of it.
Yeah.
It's not like the forest is going to burn down
So we open with you parking your service truck in the old port area. You can actually see the Yara International Building from where you are. It's not real close, but it stands out as a decently sized building. And if I remember correctly, we put this near.
Yeah, I would like to remember too. Where are we?
So if I go into Fantasy Grounds for y'all, I think I can find it on this map. Nope, that's the wrong. I should just delete that. Stop sharing. Delete the Parkside House. We're probably never going to go back there again. So looking at Google Earth, and by Google Earth I mean Google Maps, it is essentially, so let me draw a little pointy thing right in here.
Oh, okay.
It's weirdly as we described it when we were coming up with it. It's this weird old house, very much like an Up, where there's just like a house. There shouldn't be a house. Like there's all these buildings and commercial district and everything else, and then there's just this house on a wharf, and it's really weird, not a place. But no one pays it any mind.
Yeah.
People just walk right past it as if it's not there, and it's just like, oh yeah, it's just a house. But you
like stereotypically haunted or something where people are just like, let's just avoid this place.
It's worse than that. It's glamored, so people just don't pay attention.
Okay.
It's veiled. It's veiled from people. Like it's a perception veil, so they acknowledge that it's there, so they don't try to build where it is. But it's like the night bus, where they're just like, oh yeah, just ignore it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just walk up because people come in and out of there fairly frequently. People are aware of, at least supernatural beings are aware of it and can come through and stuff. I knock before and then kind of just like peek in.
So as your fist does about this, the door goes.
Ow, I told you not to do that.
And you see like there's lots of crystalline lattice that's kind of worked into the walls, and it kind of like start glowing as you get close to the door. And as you enter, they kind of light up as you walk in, and then as you go a certain distance past, they glow down behind you, and the door kind of closes behind you as you come in. And actually, if you try to close the door like yourself, it doesn't move.
Right. Ow. I thought we agreed that we can open doors for ourselves.
You hear this very ethereal voice saying, but what fun would that be? And kind of like coming out of the wall and like operating very old school wizard robes, like just like he's literally wearing wizard robes and like this scarf around his neck that's like thrown back, and he's got this weird hat cocked to the side, like a pork pie almost. And he says, they say, because like we like to have fun.
I suppose.
So,
Hi.
Nikki, so Nicole, how can we help you?
I am interested in the let me rephrase this. Let me start over, actually. There has been some missing monks, and I was wondering if you had heard anything about that, because people come through here quite often, and I'm just curious if you may know some information about that.
Well, Nicole, you know we know a lot, but you also know that we cannot give you anything for free.
I'm aware. So, what would you like in return?
That's not usually how it works. You know this, Nicole. You offer us something, and we determine if it's worth enough. Because then we get to hear some of what you have to say. Shh.
Here's something you may not know. One of Lord Malvora's underlings was just decapitated yesterday, or 2 days ago, I should say.
That is pretty spicy, but it's kind of old news.
It is technically old news. Also, I find this funny. His credit card was stolen and spent.
That's just petty.
It is, but I thought it was funny.
I mean, it is a little fun.
Yeah.
It would just be a waste anyways. Because you can't take it with you unless you're me. Ha 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 ha. Shh. And when they're talking, there's like this weird double inflection of two voices. And sometimes there's only a single voice talking, and then there's two voices talking. And when they shush, it's like they're shushing each other.
Yes. I assumed as much. Yeah. Okay. Shit. What can I... Okay. This can never leave this room. But...
Yes.
One of Lord Wraith's kin is in Portland.
You like see this like weird like distortion as their face kind of goes through a lot of different and you kind of watch as it winds down. It's like, we did not know that. Wraith in Portland. I wonder what Malvora will say.
That's why I'm saying we have to agree this does not leave this room.
Nicole, that's not always how this works. We operate a web, not a storage closet. Do they still have storage closets?
There are still storage closets. I'm saying this strand is only between you and I. You still have your web. This
Nicole.
One strand. You know I can give you more information. I have shared so much information with you before. Just this one time, I want it just between you and I.
Only if you do something for us.
I am more than happy to. I just need this information. You know I'm good for it.
Very well. For now. You need to know that malks are not the only thing disappearing.
What else is disappearing, Al?
Can't tell you. Sorry.
Can you
Some
tell
hurdles
me why?
you have to jump over yourself. There are rules.
Okay. Is there anything else you can tell me about the Malk specifically?
They're very angry Fey cats. But but that's probably not what you meant. I will say that the malts that are missing are the only malts that will probably be missing. And some of them are dead.
Makes sense, considering they're
Probably.
using cold iron.
That's not why they died. But now the fun, better, more fun. Conjugation is hard in a language that you don't speak. More fun. You need to find someone.
Who do I
They've
need to
been
find?
missing. You must find one of the founders. They've been missing, and they need to not be missing anymore.
Founders of what, may I ask?
They kind of step back and just motion kind of to their house, but also to outside. Portland.
So, are you asking about a ghost?
Oh, they're not a ghost. That would be too easy. No, they can't die.
Huh.
They need to be found because things are going wrong.
Interesting. You have a deal.
I know, because otherwise you wouldn't leave here alive.
Okay. Is there anything else that I need to know about this founder before I leave and search for them? Oh, if I may ask, is it a he or a she or a they?
I'm not sure. We are not sure. Gender's hard for us.
Fair enough. We'll just go with they for right now.
I would suggest fire. Follow the fire.
Okay. Follow the fire. Good to know. Thank you, Al.
And Al leans in, and you see not like the duality, you see the spirit, the woman. And she pokes out slightly and says, "Don't forget about the lighthouses." And then you see like the body like grabs the face and pulls the spirit back in. It's like, "No, we're not allowed to talk about that."
Why aren't you allowed to talk about the lighthouses, Al?
They
Fair enough.
discorporate and they're gone. And the door is like open.
Fair enough. Have a wonderful day, Al. And I leave.
Super.
This is fine. Everything's fine.
Nothing terrible is going to happen as a result of this at all.
I think the end of that scene is a perfect time to take a break. It's a little early, but we took a break a little late last time, so we're just kind of swinging back and forth. But I think that's a good place to take a 10-minute break, get some drinks, get some potties, get some scratches in with our animals, and we will be back here in like 10 minutes. So stay tuned. All right, and we're back from our little 10-minute break that took a little bit longer than 10 minutes, but that's fine. We are playing Dresden Files RPG, made by Evil Hat. We are in the middle of figuring out what these lovely folks are going to get up to next. We had a bunch of side scenes, essentially, as we split the party, but not as dangerous in Fate as it is in D&D, so we come back later that day, maybe tomorrow. What are we doing, everyone?
I think we should compare notes.
Yeah.
Cass said talk later this evening of that same day. So
Right.
if we want to just or cut there, that's also cool.
So, Cass, do you drag Andy to your later with Nikki, or do you and Nikki meet up and have a chat shash?
I probably dragged Andy at this point because I'm like, yeah, come on, let's do this.
Yeah,
Okay.
like all this information is important for everybody. Let's
So
just all meet
Let's
up.
say y'all
Yeah.
meet up at Sushi Books, because
We haven't used it yet.
Sushi Books is delicious.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn it, now I want
I'm-
sushi.
I always want sushi. So I mean,
Get it.
that's
I mean, same, but I live in the
Sure,
frozen
we'll meet
north
up at
now.
Sushi Bucks. I'm cool with that.
I imagine Andy just kind of like waves at the proprietor when he comes in.
Yep. And they give you a thumbs up, and you know that it's a very nice Japanese couple who own the restaurant, and it's kind of like a family restaurant, meaning that both families come, but it is also owned by a family of people, and that it's been in the family for a while. And so you're well known, and they've got the sushi chefs behind the counter, and they're all like singing as they're making sushi and chatting, and they're yelling at each other in Japanese. But it's like very friendly. Like, and if you speak Japanese, you know that it's like a very friendly, just kind of like ribbing, and when people tip, they all cheer and things like that. It's a very nice environment, very showy, and it kind of like transitions into this weird but nice record/book area that's kind of like got these different nooks, very reminiscent of early Barnes and Nobles, where you have these little like areas where you could just go and read and listen to records and things, and it just works.
Okay. I would assume we find the biggest nook we can if we invite everybody else also. Or are we just doing the three of us? I don't know. What are you guys feeling?
I think Harmony. I think everybody went to find everybody, and I think y'all basically very fate-like wound up in in Sushi Books.
I mean, yeah, if Harmony comes to find Cole at work, it'd be it's like, well, he'd be like elbow deep in some engine or something. It's like, well, let's not talk about this here. And you hungry? So he'd show up at Sushi Books probably in some kind of work overalls and his beat up hat and grease and dirt and stuff under his fingernails. And if we're going to get food, I'm going to have to wash my hands.
Harmony walks in and says, and greets the owners in magic assisted Japanese.
Then they love you because you could speak in Japanese to them. They just go on, and like one of the grandfather of the family will come out and like show you pictures of all of his grandkids, and like he loves the fact that you come in and speak Japanese, because not many people in Portland speak Japanese.
Yeah, we have like a nice, like a good 10-minute catch up session there, and that before I finally actually make it over to the booth.
Yeah.
To sit down and talk to my friends.
You don't even get very far in the door before he like assaults you with friendliness. Like it's just like, oh hi, how's it going?
I'm mostly hoping my agent doesn't just like wander in.
You know that she actually doesn't normally come to Sushi Books unless you set a meeting. She will say she lives outside of Portland, like in South Portland, and so she only comes into the city when you need a meeting, and otherwise she tends to stay out of downtown because of the traffic. But since y'all walk mostly, it doesn't matter.
Cars are hard for wizards.
Yep. Cars are hard. So you guys
Cars are hard.
managed to meet up and grab yourself a table in Sushi Books.
Sure. Okay.
Hey, Cole.
Uh-huh. Oh, wait. Did you say Cole or Nicole?
Cole.
Sorry. Go for it.
Cole, do you know someone named Mel?
Cole will probably drop something at this point.
Drop your chopsticks.
You've got your chopsticks and you're like,
Seeing that Kasara leans in because she's like, oh, this sounds delicious. Let's get into this one.
I might know a Mel. Yeah. Why you asking?
No reason.
Oh, okay. No reason. Sure. Okay.
No, just curious.
Yes, I know several Mels.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how was y'all's days?
Can one of you two please just own up in this situation? There is clearly something. Cole, either tell us who you are thinking of. Harmony. What
I
that name?
can't. I just.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Of all the people, would you go talk to my ex?
Wait, what?
I had no idea that that's who that was. She says hello, by the way.
Of course she does. Great. I figured she knew I was in town because that wouldn't take long. Portland's on the ocean. So, great.
Is she like a consultant for linguistics or something, Harmony?
Not exactly.
Certainly a consultant.
But, yeah, a consultant of sorts.
Why are you guys being so vague?
Melusine.
Melusine.
That's a name.
She's French. Consults for the Queen of Air and Darkness.
You see Cass's eyes look up like she's putting together her mental map to remember how to keep track of these things.
I
it's
thought
only
it
been
would
2
be
days.
prudent.
Andy drops something.
I thought it would be prudent to talk to someone on the Winter Court, and Melusine just happened to be the one who answered the phone.
Just happened. I guarantee you it didn't just
probably
happen.
Not. No, now that I know she's your ex.
But it's okay. It's okay. We had to talk to him at some point. I kind of wanted to have more solutions when I went to tell him that there was a problem.
Well, they're already aware of the problem, so
perfect.
No talking necessary there. They're well aware that there are mulks disappearing, and apparently have been for months.
And apparently other things are missing too.
What? Wait, what?
What?
I don't know how many people. I know Cass doesn't know, but is anybody else familiar with Al?
Yes.
I would assume Andy would. Okay.
Al.
Al is that's hard.
Al's a spirit is the easiest answer and also very incomplete, but it's the easiest answer I can give you right now.
Yeah, that's what I would say too. Al is a
things.
spirit, and I went to go talk to them.
Okay.
They can't specify as to what other things are missing, but other things have also been missing, and the Malks. These are the last Malks that are going to go missing, is what they said.
All right. Well, Winter will be pleased to hear that, I suppose.
And that they presume, at least some of them are dead.
Oh,
It was a
that's not
whole
good.
thing. they were very cryptic and a little shady about it. But
Sounds like Al.
yeah, uh-huh.
I don't
So
suppose that when they said other things had gone missing, that if you asked if they were all winter things.
We're living things.
I did not, and they said that they couldn't say more than that.
Okay.
Perfect.
Well-
So
They said also, well, Allison said to check the lighthouses, and then
Okay.
Alistair kind of pushed her back in and told her that they weren't supposed to say that.
All right. So lighthouses, right?
Mm-hmm.
Melusine said something similar, actually, because
Really?
I asked Melusine. She was not. I mean, she's a fae. She was not terribly forthcoming with a great amount of information regarding the Malks because apparently, they're cats and they're hard to keep track of. But
they keep their own counsel.
I did ask if anything else strange had begun happening around the same time, or anyone had started acting oddly or anything of that nature. And Melusine said to check the lighthouses, and I asked if she could say anything more, and she said it wasn't her domain. And actually, I'm not sure if that means maybe it's a wild fae domain.
You
Or
said she was a
summer.
wild spirit, right, Cole? Or sorry, not wild spirit. Sorry, water spirit.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mostly river, but yeah.
okay, river. Okay, that makes a bit more sense because ocean is.
That does make sense.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I think we're missing the most important question here. Cole, how did this relationship end?
That's the most important question. That's not my question, but okay.
Well, what's your question, Andy?
No, I want to hear the answer to this question first.
Okay, so now we know which ones are the groups of the gossips.
Therapist, come on. This is
Yeah, the therapist and the PI are gossips.
Yep,
I
yep,
would have guessed.
yep.
So do y'all
Some
know
people enjoy their privacy. Just saying.
y'all know what summer and winter do, right?
Yes.
I
Enough.
More or less.
Like
What-
this.
Well, okay,
Okay, the wizards know,
yeah.
and the werewolf knows.
No.
Summer.
We're the only ones in the know.
Summer.
Yeah, there's like a handful of people that really know what summer and winter do.
Well, I meant like we think we know, probably.
Yeah, we know
Yeah.
what
You
we
might think you know, but I think Cole might know something he's not supposed to know.
Mm-hmm. Because
Just
he
don't care.
almost got recruited to do.
So
Oh.
Yeah. See.
Shit.
Oh shit, that's insane. Okay,
Yeah.
go for it.
See, winter is so much bigger than summer. Winter
What?
is by far the largest court. And the reason why you don't see many of them and mess with them because they're a little busy.
Busy with
And
What?
What?
Huh?
summer protects mortals and everybody else from winter. Winter protects everybody inside that circle from what's on the outer dark.
They what?
Wait,
Sorry.
what?
Melusine recruits people to work on the wall.
But well,
as you say, Melusine recruits people to work on the. It doesn't
Yeah.
come out. It doesn't.
Yeah,
that word doesn't come out of your head,
That's
of
it.
your mouth.
Yeah, exactly. Melusine recruits people. To he's a recruiter.
You are under a gesh not to say anything.
Yeah,
about
I
that
imagine
word.
so. She's a recruiter.
that
And
does
when I
not
figured-
explain how your relationship ended.
I'm
Well,
sorry. Can we go back
Cass?
to the part where winter fights outsiders?
Nope. He didn't say that.
Yeah, I wouldn't
I
be
was
able.
gonna say, he
I guess
didn't
that
say
sounds
that.
like something I wouldn't be able to
He
say.
he might have tried to say it, but it did not come out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
He said
we didn't
the
hear-
outer
we didn't hear
dark.
the outer
Winter
part.
protects. Winter protects us.
Yeah, that's about as much as he could say.
Okay.
And anyway, I found out what I was being groomed for and decided to have none of that nonsense. Thank you very much. So I don't know if she thinks the relationship's completely over, but
Wait, sorry, did
what?
you just happen to ghost her then? Is that how this happened?
I mean, not like in the Percy sense of the word, but
No, because mine's still here.
That's actually a side note. That is very ironic, actually.
Percy bringing a new definition of the word ghosted.
Okay.
We need some.
I mean, I was kind of hoping that she wouldn't figure out where I was, but I guess it was inevitable. So
Feeling-
thank you for
You
that.
never technically
Feeling a
broke
little
up
bit
with her.
nervous now about having just talked to her.
That was going to be my question for you, Harmony, was what did you pay her for this information? I'm assuming it wasn't just, free, but she's a fae.
Nothing's ever free with the Fae.
No, I didn't. I agreed that I would help them look into the matter,
Okay.
which I was
So
already
now-
doing anyway. So, I mean, really,
That doesn't seem unreasonable.
Is Harmony trying to lie, or has Harmony forgot exactly what she agreed to?
I mean, I agreed to help them resolve the matter. I
You
promised
said
them
you would
my-
help them find the person responsible.
Mhm.
Yes. I'm
So-
not really trying to lie.
Okay. Just so I was curious if you were trying to lie or if Danielle forgot exactly the wording.
No,
specific
I'm
wording.
not really trying to lie. I'm
Okay.
just
Admitting the truth.
yeah, well,
vague.
I'm just saying, I promised. I don't. Okay, so meta talk. Harmony doesn't really want to admit to Andy that she just made
that's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
made
That's
a
what I was
deal
getting at.
with the Fae,
That's-
so she's extremely uncomfortable right now.
That's all I was trying to get at. Is
Twitching
Oh,
kind of
join the
nervously.
club. Join the extremely uncomfortable club.
refusing to meet Andy's eyes, even though Andy is the only person at the table whose eyes she can meet. And she said, "Yeah, I promised them some help if she could give me some information, which I was already gonna do. So it's
Can I try to read her?
You can definitely try to roll an empath check.
do I defend this in some way?
You can defend it with presence or
Deceit.
it depends on what you're trying to do. You can actually close down using rapport.
Okay.
You can defend with deceit,
Okay.
and I think you can defend with presence.
All right. I will defend with presence because that's the better skill.
Yeah, because it's
I got 2.
I also got it.
Nice.
so Andy was attempting to read you, and so he gets the barest hint that you are not being 100% on the level with him. Whether or not you choose to do anything with that information, Andy, is up to you, obviously, but you know that Harmony is being intentionally obtuse.
But anyway, to answer your question as directly as I can, she didn't have my best interests in heart, so I left.
What you're being groomed for isn't always your best interest.
Nope. I can guarantee you this would not have been my best interest for a very, very long time. Or a very short time, depending on how it went.
Yeah, that sounds crazy.
So lighthouses.
Lighthouses?
Yeah.
I may have also agreed something to Al. I'm sorry, but this is the only way they would talk to me. Is because
That is how Al works.
exactly. So I have to find the founder of Portland, who is
A founder.
a founder of Portland who is not a ghost but is, I guess, immortal.
Wait, what? That can happen?
Yes.
I don't know. Do you think they could be a wizard?
Darn
They.
immortal.
Wizards.
I don't know. I'm not.
I was like that fast. We can die.
I know you can die. I'm saying someone who can live for a long time. They didn't say immortals per se, but they said that they were a founder of Portland. So I assume that they're fairly old.
Like Portland? Like
the
city?
land of yes.
Well,
Yeah.
that could be, I suppose. I mean, if it was just that they were old, not that they were actually immortal.
Right.
Could I make a lore roll to see if I would have even the foggiest idea of what might fit the criteria I've heard so far?
Sure.
Okay. So I just roll 2 dice and add 5. Is that how this goes if my lore is 5?
Yep.
You roll your 4 dice. Your
Roll 4
big
dice.
Okay. Hey. That. So I got a 6.
A 6. So based on the information provided, which wasn't much yet,
Yeah.
there are lots of things that can live for a very long time. Fae can live very long. Vampires, Lord Wraith is fuck all. Who knows how old he is? Wizards can live a very long time, as was mentioned. As far as the founders of Portland go, you're not 100% sure of exactly who they are. There is some inkling that Al was one of them, but Al is technically dead and not dead at the same time. He's a ghost spirit thing that fused to spirit of intellect. Yara has been here for quite some time. You're not exactly sure how long Svart elves live. That's a big ball of fuzzy leads that you're not sure where they go.
Okay.
Al also said to follow the fire when looking for the founder.
I mean, that could be a lighthouse.
Well, they also, after talk, like as I was getting ready to leave, Allison specifically said about the lighthouses, and then Alistair stopped her. So I think those are two separate things.
Yeah.
They seem separate.
I mean, in the fire, like that burned the city down, maybe.
Yeah. The first one would be, or maybe it's been the same thing 4 times.
Follow that.
I mean,
Do you think a founder could be a phoenix? I don't know if those exist.
GM, do I know? Or does
Do I know?
already know?
well, sure, phoenixes exist. There's one in Dumbledore's office.
Those are books,
Those
Cole.
are books. Yeah, that's not.
Sure, they're books. That's fine, wizard.
I would say with your lore roll, you've never heard of a phoenix.
Okay.
At least not one. You know of the word phoenix, right? Like, and they permeate the mythos. So being the smart wizard that you are, you assume something inspired the myth of the phoenix, but you have never encountered one. You have no actual intelligence on what a phoenix is or how it works.
Okay.
Andy, have I encountered anything in my linguistic studies to provide any further information?
I mean,
Because I deal with ancient stuff all the time.
I mean, there's definitely a magical doodad that you own
Pieces of.
and protect.
That might have
Oh,
more
yeah.
information.
That might have
I
more
totally forgot about
information.
that.
So would
I
this
didn't.
be enough of a trigger for me to realize that I should probably go do some consulting?
Yeah, if you want to invoke that tablet, you might be able to get more information out of it.
Why not?
Sounds great. Yeah, absolutely. I say
Sure.
that no harm could possibly come from the evil
So-
tablet of forbidden
Fine.
knowledge.
If you spend that fate point to invoke that awesome aspect that you
I
have,
will spend that fate point. That'll be my second and last one for this session, unless you give me more.
okay, doke.
I mean,
We will say that in the tablet of Kur, you find an obscure passage about beings that live in flame and live as long as those that would have been touched by flame are kept safe.
Interesting. So they live in flame, and they live as long as beings who would have been touched by flame are kept safe. Do these beings have a name, or is that not in the tablet?
We'll say conveniently that it is not in the tablet because
Okay.
it's part of the broken piece that you don't have.
Okay.
It's along one of the cracks that is part of the tablet.
Okay.
So Andy would start to explain that he's never heard of, like, there's lore about all this stuff from mythology and things, but he's never heard of anything like what would have maybe inspired a phoenix or heard about.
I have Andy.
Oh,
I recently came into contact with a ancient tablet at my workplace, and I have good reason to believe this one is not just your average set of myths. And it talks about beings that live in flame and can theoretically survive as long as things that would otherwise be touched by flame are protected. And given the history of Portland,
That could make sense.
yeah, it could. You got that from the tablet?
yeah.
Okay.
Judging by that reaction, I don't think you're supposed to know that information.
The tablet's a problem.
It's, a problem, like Andy said.
Andy
that
looks
tablet.
Andy looks over at Percy just like
Oh, that tablet.
Yeah, that tablet.
that.
Correct.
Did I mention I'm going to pay for your dinners tonight?
Percy,
Wonderful.
what's this tablet?
Cole, you know how I acquired a television today?
yeah.
In the same way, I acquired a tablet.
You acquired a television?
Today.
Well, Stumpy wasn't going to use it.
You went to his. Okay.
Oh my gosh. You
So-
stole. Okay, continue.
I know, stealing
I
a
haven't heard
TV
this-
is rough, but
Just
I mean-
continue. Go for it.
We also took his gun.
That's not better, but I mean,
well, if it makes you feel better, we broke his window.
I mean, some kid could have found it. That's,
Continue with the tablet story. Why
did you
why
find
don't
anything
you?
important in there other than tablets and guns?
Money.
Ugh.
don't worry about the money. It's fake.
The money's fake?
Wait, the money's
Well-
fake?
It's counterfeit, yeah.
Can we
Did
go
we
back
order-
to this tablet?
Yeah.
Order sake.
Yeah, I'm also with Andy
Yeah, you-
on this one.
You
Can we
definitely
get a
have
drink?
you definitely have hot sake coming.
Cass needs a drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, I messed up and I took the tablet
turning
and then
each
tried to
other
sell it
into
to someone,
alcoholics.
and then it went wrong.
The
Yeah, we got
tablet's an
that.
artifact of evil magic.
Wait, what?
Where did you get the tablet from?
It
Her
came-
office?
It came into my office. I do translation work at the university. Your
You're
mic's
muted.
not working.
And so someone sent you a tablet.
Well, I don't necessarily think it was malicious. I mean, I get sent different artifacts all the time to do translations. I'm one of the best in my field.
Do you know who sent it to you?
I'm sure I could find out where it was sent from.
Might not be a bad idea. If it might lead to something if we find out where they found it or what they have to do with it.
That's true. I could probably check the records at the university.
The other thing is, Portland's been burned how many times now? And she'll kind of look at Andy at that one.
4.
I was gonna say 3, but I couldn't say for sure.
It's burned down 4 times.
You know the location of where those have started?
I don't know that I do.
It might not be
Find
bad to
out.
do this research and
Something you
find
could
that out.
Spend some scholarship time on.
Yeah,
That's
let me.
true.
I'd look it up on my smartphone, but
I know.
We don't have
you can
that.
outside.
Accessibility
Well,
right
no.
now.
You can go outside.
Well, since we're all talking about what we did today,
Oh, what did you do?
Yeah, Andy, what did you do?
I met with everyone's favorite newscaster.
That
Really?
was
wait.
Why would you do that? Sorry, what?
Sarah and I went, and
I'm sorry,
Wait,
what?
Kasara
Everyone-
takes a drink.
I wasn't going to go into a meeting with 2 of them without someone to back me up. And
You do understand that you also have another wizard and a werewolf who can very easily protect you and themselves to aid in that. I know I probably wouldn't have been a good choice in that situation, but
no, you came up.
I'm sure I did.
And Nikki, darling, I think you underestimate what I'm actually able to do.
I don't underestimate you. You underestimate him. He's a
Got a good
freaking
read on that
scary
one.
dude.
He
Oh.
is.
And I don't think it's wise to possibly expose yourself in that way.
I didn't expose myself. There's no.
Yes, please don't expose yourself.
There will be issues if that happens.
Cole,
Are
I
there-
think you're thinking this differently, but also yes.
That's anyway. No, jokes aside, why?
I was meeting with him not to provoke him.
I
I hope
understand
so.
that.
Thank you. Good.
That's good, yeah.
With what happened 2 days ago, literally 2 days ago, I think it may have been too soon.
Maybe.
But go ahead, tell us what happened.
Yeah, no.
Keep my mouth shut now.
Obviously, you lived.
That's good.
Yes. I made it
Hmm.
clear to him that I was looking into the situation around town, and at the end that you were working with me. But I wanted to get I wanted to assure him that I didn't think he was a suspect in this, so that he could potentially help us and maybe come out looking better. He's lost face with what's happened, and it seems like he either didn't know or wants to have plausible deniability about whatever is going on. And I would rather have him as a uncertain ally than a for certain enemy.
Or even just neutral is not a bad place to have him.
Well,
considering
I know
how angry he is.
sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
He's
I
angry
know
and trying
yes.
to deal with that. So
mostly at me because I caused the death of one of his kin. So
I think
there will be
there's more.
repercussions
not
You're
necessarily.
right.
towards me.
And I wanted to also try to safeguard against that, because my hope is if he knows that you have a wizard ally, that might give him some pause too.
So, all right, fair enough. So basically letting him know that she wasn't standing on her own. That's fair.
Okay, that could have gone
Yeah.
a lot worse.
Well, I wasn't standing on my own with my parents around either, but that's a different
Right.
story.
Are you crossing him off as a suspect?
No,
I
Oh
wouldn't.
God, no.
not at
Her
all.
and Malvora are still involved somehow.
It is possible that he genuinely doesn't know, or at least that he doesn't want me to know that, or us.
How much
Angry
did
at a
you
lot of
share with
different
him?
things.
Not much. We don't really know that much, to be honest, so it wasn't hard to not overplay a hand we don't have. He did, however, make it very clear he would be very interested in knowing who is responsible for whatever is happening, and that he would like some quality time with that person.
So does the Winter Court.
Well, they can figure that out then.
Figure out a timeshare.
Although that might put us in an awkward position if we have to choose between giving someone to the Winter Court or Lord Malvora.
Well, we could just give it to both and let them decide who gets to take it. We've honored what
Both
we've
of
said
them.
we would do by bringing it to
Wow.
them.
I sort of promised Lord Malvora that I would do that.
Harmony very deliberately does not say anything. Because she may or may not have made an opposite promise.
Why would you
Well, I
do
didn't
that?
know at the time that Winter would care that much. They're not really known for their compassion towards.
You didn't think they'd want
Others.
to avenge the death of court members?
We didn't know. I didn't know at the time for sure any Malks had died, or what they knew.
They weren't certain that they died. They just had a high assumption that they could have. They may not have died yet, but there's definitely the possibility that they will.
We can burn that bridge when we get there.
We could also potentially have Yara mediate that if we need to.
Oh, yes,
Correct.
by all means, let's throw another hat in the ring.
Yeah, I don't think, let's just say Winter doesn't think very highly of Yara.
Oh, well,
That doesn't surprise me in any way.
So anyway,
they don't like
lighthouses?
being... Winter doesn't like being constrained by anybody, really.
Neither does Lord Malvora.
Standing is
Girlfriend.
no
At least
one
our
really seems
bad
to
guys
like
are
it.
similar.
All the more. These are reasons why I am not a joiner.
Yeah.
So lighthouses and a fire.
So I think
Yeah.
we need to start.
Lighthouses and fire. That's all we have.
We need to
Well,
start
light-
doing some research.
That's not all. There's one more person I could talk to.
Oh,
Who would that be, Cole?
Well, you've talked to Wildfay, and you've talked to Winter.
You're gonna talk to
Yep.
Summer.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
I really ought to.
I'm gonna be nowhere near that interaction because they're still mad at me.
Well, join the club. They're mad at me too, but
And Andy's like, wait a minute, what?
What? Why are the Fae mad at you?
yeah.
at me.
It was the whole tree thing.
Group
Yeah,
you,
ask
let's
Cole.
say. You as a group.
Sorry, is it?
They're not mad at me.
Oh, okay,
I
sorry.
mean,
Let
I
Cole
mean-
explain that one to you.
Nikki, are they mad at you?
Oh, what
They're not mad at me.
happened?
Okay, so just Cole and Harmony.
It sounds like Cole has a story.
no, I mean,
he
I
always
just
has a story.
well, right. This is how you get out of things. You tell good stories. No, I know a guy in Summer, and with Harmony, I gave something back to the Wild Fae that I should have given back to Summer instead. So
Well, that was.
He's leaving out the part where
I got
had-
it got taken back to its rightful place. Let's just go with that.
sure, but that's not the people who asked me to get it. So
And he's leaving out the
You're not
part where
wrong,
I had to
but
defend
you were
him against
stealing-
the people who came.
You
to
at
get
least
it.
have a good name, at least good favor with the Wild Fae now that you have returned a precious artifact.
look,
Okay.
they don't get conscience or coming to one's senses or doing what's best. They don't get that. That's not part of their default. But Gil will talk to me, and that's fine. Maybe he'll yell at me. That's also fine. But maybe some of his people have gone missing, and I know more about that than he does, so we'll have a conversation.
It's all
Shouldn't
on
go
you.
alone though.
If that's not the case, then I'll leave. Maybe in a real hurry.
So you should not go alone. But apparently Harmony shouldn't go with you either.
No,
I don't know if I should be in that either. They would know that I'm at least somewhat in favor with the Wild Fae. I'm the wolves try to be as neutral as possible, but I don't know.
I'm
How?
happy to go along. I'm fairly neutral in this whole thing.
Sure.
Great. Well, I have.
Who wants to go meet a tree spirit?
Well, it sounds like I have some research to do. Harmony, maybe you want to help?
Yeah.
I-
Yeah, I'll take research over Summer Fae, please.
I can definitely research further too into whatever this, because it's technically my responsibility to find this founder. You guys don't need to be part of this, but I just thought it seems somewhat related to our situation.
I'm gonna hang you out there.
And
We're all
at
in
some
this
point-
together.
and at some point
It's
we
my
need to
it's my
go-
fault. It's my situation. I'm not expecting you to help me with this. I can handle
We're
myself.
not hanging you out to dry, Nikki.
None of this is our fault. I mean, we
Well-
didn't kidnap any Malks.
No, I'm talking about my deal.
Well, making
There-
deals, yeah, no, that's all you.
At some point, though, we do need to go look at the lighthouses. So maybe
Yeah.
Summer Fae, research, then lighthouses, and we all go together.
We have to all
Lighthouses together,
I'm-
yes.
lighthouses together for sure.
So
Sounds
if
like a
you
The last thing we want to do is poke something and not.
Not have full power.
Yeah.
Party power. Damn it,
Percy,
words.
did you want to come with team research or team apparently Summer Fae?
I have something I need to take care of, actually. I'll join up with the research when I'm done.
All right.
Keep your
Alright.
phones on.
Hey,
Phone-
Please. It,
And just as a DM helpful reminder, Cass had an interesting suggestion of looking why the tablet of Kerr showed up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I figured that might be a research point too.
Yeah, that's something
Yeah.
I'm going to look into as part of
Ju-
research.
just-
Also, since we're speaking of meta points, didn't Cole and Percy find some markings in the house that they wanted to bring up?
Yes, the calendar.
Yeah.
Yes. And Percy will say, before I go, it'd be irresponsible of me not to show this. I don't know if it means anything. And he takes out a notepad. Flip. Wait, flip. Okay, here. These were the symbols and the dates that they corresponded to on a calendar. The next page has the calendar actually drawn out in case it's a pattern and not based on the dates. Does this
GM, do either
mean
of
anything
us?
to you?
Yeah, do either of us recognize these symbols? Knowing what I know about, or do I recognize them as enough of a language that I could maybe run my translation algorithm on them?
Probably not enough, essentially, context for your translation algorithm to take hold.
Okay.
It needs more. It needs fully developed language, and this seems more like a shorthand kind of thing. So it would be really, to understand shorthand, you'd have to know what the context is, and you don't have that, so it would be really hard to pull the context from nothing.
Sure.
So you get the sense that your matrix would not work. But the two of you, why don't you roll me? I guess lore is the best. Although I have you all roll lore a bunch.
That's why
which is-
mine's a 5.
That's why
I
mine's
guess-
4.
I guess that's okay. I guess playing to your strengths is fine.
Mel didn't give you any dates on those missing Fae, did they? 4 and 7?
4 and a 7. The two of you recognize the lunar cycle when you see it.
This is based on the lunar pattern, but I don't know what that would mean.
I
Interesting.
mean,
Nikki, are any of those werewolf tropes true about the lunar stuff?
Some.
Well,
That's
I'm sorry if it's rude to ask.
There's werewolves, and then there are loup-garou. There are different types of werewolves.
Okay,
My pack can change at will, so that doesn't matter to us. Others, I believe, can only change at the full moon, but I don't know enough. Actually, I probably would know this information.
You would know just the loup-garou is the only one that's bound by moonlight.
Yeah.
That's transformative.
Right.
You know that lycanthropes
Right.
are also moon based, but they don't transform physically. They just transform.
Yeah.
Emotionally.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I relay that information too.
And you know that you actually, Nikki, you have lycanthropes in your family tree.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. That makes sense how it got.
Because you came from that place where the berserkers came from.
Yeah.
What sort of emotion are we talking about they transform to?
Blind rage.
Oh, so not despair. Okay, so wouldn't really help our vampire friends who are stealing people.
No.
Violent rage monster.
The lycanthropes are the mythos behind the Viking berserkers that used to exist. And so they are immune to most damage while they are transformed.
might be another topic for research, Andy.
If you want to copy the symbols
barbarians
down,
anything
feel
else
free.
that's runs on a lunar cycle.
Sure. Yeah, we can look into that.
Well, the water patterns do.
Tides, that's a good point.
Tide.
Oh,
Mel would probably know something.
Tides
And this is
actually
tied
might be
to-
a really good point.
And if it's tied to tides and the lighthouses,
That's what
and
I was gonna say.
It's all tied to the sea, or the sea's edge anyway.
which is where lighthouses are.
Yep.
Whose domain is that? Who, in any magical, mystical sense, would control any of that?
Several
I
people.
stick more to land. I don't think I would know.
You guys have no idea.
Is
Well,
there,
Just
Could be a number of people, I
To
don't know.
my understanding, I reckon that's be what you call a liminal space. Not really belonging to anyone, right?
Somewhat neutral.
Unless someone
Depends
claimed
on
it.
who's.
unless someone's claimed it. I'm
Someone
starting-
who lives there might think
Well-
otherwise. Just someone
Summer
who
and
lives
winter fight back and forth over stuff all the time. There's territories that change hands. That's why Wildfey like to live there.
Right.
a
It's
question?
possible the Wild Fae have more control over the oceans than the others, but I have no idea. I stick more to land.
Yeah, Percy.
You've been here, Andy, for a little bit.
Few decades.
Those lighthouses down in South Portland.
Mm-hmm.
Those always been electric, or did those have torches in them at one point?
You realize that electricity has been I'm not that old, right? Like,
Oh, sorry. My point is, if that was once fire, is there anywhere that those lights cross over each other in the ocean? Maybe we should look there, especially if it is someplace that would be
Well,
in the tide.
they also spin, so they could touch somewhere. They could both cross paths on land also.
I was thinking that land piece of it, and it was something that I was going to research and bring back, but with the idea of the tides being a part of it, the water became a much more viable option.
Well, I think Cole probably has the right idea here, that it's the shoreline itself. That's where the tides are. That's where the lighthouses are.
Lots of little islands.
there are.
Yeah.
And that then puts its own problem. Unless you want to row out there.
Oh, I'm sure we can find a boat, right, Cole?
I mean,
Well, I'm sure that we can find a boat, but a motor is more my thing.
Look,
Ah,
look, I'm saying maybe something, high tech fuel injected you might screw up, but some kind of 1930s, 40s Evinrude, you're going to be fine.
Well, yeah, that's true. Older stuff is going to be better.
Well,
I mean, most of that crap responds well to a good whacking, so, you know.
That's
worst
true.
comes to worst, Andy, you or I could probably propel the boat with a little bit of air behind it.
Yeah, that's true. That
We
just
could find a sailboat pretty easily.
You know, I've never driven a magic-powered sailboat before.
Well, it's the first time
That's
doing
gonna-
this thing.
That's going to tap us out pretty fast if we do that.
Sure, fair, okay. I'm just saying that might be kind of fun.
Maybe on a day when we don't expect that whatever we get to might want to eat us, that could be a thing.
I'm not saying it's a
That's what I'm here for.
that's a plan
right?
like D, not a plan A.
Also, we could just save it for a fun sunny day one time when we're not dealing with trouble.
Yeah,
Please.
You
yeah.
say that as if we will
We
have
don't-
time.
We don't have to steal a sailboat just because it's an emergency.
Okay, Cole.
So that is the perfect time to pull out of that scene.
Oh, the night.
Okay.
We don't have to steal the sailboat because we have to. We just do it because we want to. And we will transition to Cass and Cole. Cole, where do you think you're going to find Gil?
There probably, well, if from what I remember, he's a tree spirit, so he probably has a grove, probably some old growth forest. They're
Well,
probably
you know the old growth forests in Maine are the domain of wild fae.
Sure.
So I'd say if you are going to find him in Portland, he'd probably be in one of the parks.
that's what I'm thinking.
He
He's,
could be in my he could be in my park.
well, he's
Possibly.
kind
So
of
that's a little bit too wildly fae territory. Like
Okay.
the wilderness of Maine is wild fae territory.
Okay, gotcha.
I mean like actual like city parks. So
Gotcha.
very likely.
Deering Oak Park or Evergreen Cemetery or
I think the big oak park sounds reasonable.
the Deering Oak Park. Okay, which is funny because it's near the Parkside area, so it's near that shitty part of
Perfect.
town. So it's
fun.
Perfect.
it's where things just start smashing into each other.
Sure.
Good.
That sounds.
Coincidences.
Coincidences. There are no coincidences in fate. Oh wait, that's the actuality, but that's not this game. So you and Kasara lovely like park you park your car, whichever car you're driving today, and whomever's car you're driving today, and you get out. It's a little bit of it's getting fallish, so it's a little brisk, a little windy, but it's not bad. It's sunny, and you make your way into the park and. It's a normal park. It's got a water feature. It's got paths. And you kind of wind your way down through one of these paths. And there's like this little hedge. You kind of you recognize the hedge. You've seen this hedge before. It didn't used to be here, but it's here now.
Yep. Cole will show up with some a couple cups of coffee and like a box of donuts and croissants and things like that. You bring gifts.
Sure. Yep. And you know that you just enter the hedge and you'll be fine. And so you lead Kasara into this hedge, which looks normal. It looks like it belongs, but it also at the same time, it's like, is there supposed to be a hedge here?
Yeah.
And you kind of like wander and you come around a corner and you're in this like garden party area. Like it just all of a sudden this hedge opens up into this very nice, has a little gazebo. There's another water feature suddenly. There's chairs. There's people laughing and dancing and just kind of there's some artists painting some pictures of portraits of people who are standing there quite nude and just very not bothered by the fact that it's a little crisp today. And you kind of just like maybe summon your inner resolve, like, okay, I gotta just deal with this. And you kind of, as you're about to like step into the hedge, he's like, "Oh, Cole, my son, look who's come back to the fold. And I see you brought donuts. That's such a great feature."
I always come bearing gifts, Gil. Gil, Kasara, Gil.
Some of your gifts are a little bit prickly there, Cole.
Well, not get, but I'm sharing. Eat and
Yeah. Welcome. It's lovely to meet you, Kasara.
Kasara,
Pleasure to
Gil,
meet you, Gil.
Kasara. I'm gonna hand Kasara a coffee. Don't drink anything else.
Okay.
I would
yeah.
never tempt such a lovely darling as such as this. Welcome to me grove. I see you have a little bit of a deficiency in the company you keep, darling. I'm sorry about that. I guess we can't all be perfect.
No, of course not.
And he fixes you, Cole, with a very evil glare while smiling at you, Kasara.
Which she's just beaming right back.
So I suppose we could dance around the roseberry bush for a while, but what do you want, Cole?
I had news that you might like to hear, and I'm gonna offer it freely.
I should say so, since you still owe me a wee plant in a bag.
Fair. So
Aw.
Exactly. Maybe you are keeping better company than you should. Well, I know you're keeping better company than you should, but that's besides the point. What information have you for Gil?
well, winter's losing people.
You had to bring them into it, didn't you? All right, everyone. And he like snaps his fingers, and like the frivolity stops, and people start like gathering things and come into my office, which is more serious than I thought. You actually have something. And he kind of walks into the gazebo, and as he walks into the gazebo, it kind of like it's like the walls close around it, and like there's just a doorway left for you to enter into this gazebo.
Like, Sarah, after you.
You're muted.
Oh, there it goes.
Oh, yeah, I
There we
think,
go.
I don't know what it is. I gotta fix my cords
It's all
later.
good.
Is this normal?
For summer, sure. It's all glamour.
Oh, right.
Doesn't make it any less real.
And
It's
and you
just-
see the head poke out. It's like, oi! Stop giving away our secrets. I'm trying to impress. He pokes his head back in.
I mean, it's all real. It's just magical.
Right. Still getting a bit used to that.
I mean, we can all do stuff in the bouquet of flowers. It's just his stuff is better than mine.
All right then. And she'll just walk on in.
And inside you see almost like an office. Like the inside of the gazebo has literally transformed into like a 1930s noir like office with like a little rolling desk lamp and like the whole shtick. And he's like sitting at the desk with his feet kicked up. Like, all right, now what you have got for me? Something about winter, fuckers.
Did you not want to do the dame walks into my office bit first?
No. I
Okay,
don't.
just checking.
The damned have walked into me office. That's for sure.
Hey, look, I've done good for you too.
I know. I have a bit of a soft spot, like a bad knee. Or a penny that just won't go away. That's what you are, Cole.
I could move.
A helpful bad penny. That's you in a nutshell. Now,
Sure.
sit and tell me what the fuck you have to tell me.
All right. Sits down. It's like, so the last few months, maybe I think timed with the cycle of the moon, they have gone missing. And Cole is specifically saying Fae have gone missing and reading Gil to see if anything summary has gone missing.
You can both make empath
I
checks
was
since you
gonna
are
say,
waiting
I would
for
like
it.
to. Okay. Plus and minus. So I'm just total of 5.
5.
A +1, so that's a 3.
And I rolled like garbage. So, Kasara, not Cole.
I mean,
You see that he is deeply troubled by that news. For more than one reason. There is something... He was being very and now he seems very serious.
Mm-hmm.
And he seems very worried.
Has anyone gone missing for you?
Cuts to the quick, this one does, doesn't she?
She's smarter than I am.
That's not hard to do. Bread boxes are smarter than you, Cole. Bread boxes hold the bread and keep it where you're supposed to keep it. They don't just give it away. Yes, we've had fellows go missing in the last few months. Didn't seem to be anything. Then all of a sudden, folks we'd known are just not showing up, places that they would have been normally. And it was good folk. And while you know that we don't really talk to our brothers of winter, I had heard rumors that such was happening, and I am scheduled to sit down with the winter lady herself. But I'll be damned if she shows up. Pinning that one down, it'd be like trying to pin a butterfly in a hurricane, and you'd be lucky to do it.
Why is that?
'Cause she's the fucking hurricane.
Bill, they had iron cages.
Fuck's sake. What kind of monster uses the bane in such a way?
That's what we're trying to find out. I would have been.
If you find the fuckers, I want a piece.
I can give you a shot at a piece. There's a lot of people want part of this.
I should say so, but I'm probably more important than them, so it's fine.
I'm more than happy to let everyone involved divide them into little tiny pieces. That sounds great to me.
Gil, who specifically has gone missing? We have some idea. But
So you, lass, you seem a little bit new to this world. So the best I could say to you is some of me friendly elves have gone missing.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
They're usually just scouts and couriers. They're pretty good with a bow, but not many people fight with bows and arrows anymore because your heathens made guns. What the fuck is a gun?
I know. They're awful.
So uncivilized.
It really is. I can't argue you in the slightest on that one.
I remember running and gutting people with swords, and it was glorious and personal.
I can imagine it would be, and that sounds absolutely fantastic for you.
Hey, it was.
So elves have gone missing for you.
Aye. Almost a half dozen.
Huh. And how long has it been? You said a few months?
Aye, about probably 2.
2 months.
Well, hard to know because we weren't. You don't know. You're like looking for people to be missing, so it's trying to scramble and figure out when the frack was the last time you saw someone.
So it's mostly folks that are usually on their own. Fair enough.
I suppose some of the elves were usually there. They're a bit finicky. They like to bandy about with their own kind, and I don't mind their company.
Well, I was hesitant to come to you with a problem and no solution, so...
That's a good headspace to be in there, Cole.
I know.
We're working on a solution, though.
This one, you should keep this one around. Brains in this one, it has. Yeah, you, not so much.
Oh.
No.
You usually bring me only problems. Only problems. Very
That's-
few solutions.
Not entirely true. I brought you lots of things that didn't belong to either of us to start with.
That's true too. That's true too. And that's the only reason why I haven't goated you.
Thanks.
Of course. What are friends for?
I mean, you know, I'm sure there's nothing to do with trying to influence me to eventually choose Summer or anything like that either.
As I said, what are friends for?
Yeah. So, right. Wanted to let you know. Courtesy call. Thank you for sharing what you have with us. Please indulge in some donuts and coffee. And
I might. Now get out.
no.
Gil,
Yeah.
before we leave, if you happen to know of anything else about these missing elves or more information or someone who needs to talk to us to help us, and she'll just slide over her business card.
Oh my god, this is ridiculous. Okay.
No obligation there, by the way.
That's adorable. Business card. I have to have.
Way to get a hold of me if you need.
He like puts it back down on his desk and he reaches into like one of his pockets and pulls out what looks to be a coin. But it is made of a metal that you've never seen before.
Okay.
And he hands it to you. Says, "In case you ever need to get in contact with me, lovely lass, only give it a toss into the water and someone will contact you shortly."
Wonderful. And she'll take the coin and pocket that.
No, you don't get a fucking coin.
I don't need a coin. It's fine. I'm just.
I think I like these summer folk.
Why wouldn't you? We're the best.
You
Yes,
very much
absolutely. They're wonderful.
are absolutely delightful.
Mm-hmm. They're terrific.
Yes, we are. Now, shush.
As Mr. Pratchett once would say.
And we will pull back from that scene as you are shushing away from the Gill's hedge into books.
So many books.
Probably looks like a hoarder's place.
So we'll very gently touch into the book area before jumping to Percy. Why don't you all roll me some scholarship rolls if you were looking for mundane things. So that means like tied stuff. You were scholarship for the tablet thing. What was the other thing you were going to research? Fires. Fire tracking. Fire tracking is scholarship.
I'm researching the fire specifically because I
Okay.
like that is.
Herman
So I made a
needs to
promise.
look into where that tablet came from.
So those are all scholarships rolls. So we'll pull out we haven't, this isn't a scene, but just so that's what you guys can do. And jump to Percy. So Percy, what are you doing? Are you spending the thing that we talked about?
No,
Cool.
I have another thing.
Have another thing. Let's do the other thing. I love it.
Harmony mentioned in the conversation that there is a spirit that gives information in this city.
Yes, she did.
Percy likes both spirits and information.
Sure. 2 for, okay.
Oh no.
Percy would
Yeah.
like to visit Al.
Like to visit Al. Excellent.
This is scary, but okay.
I got a -2.
Oh no.
But
Oh, you forgot things.
Zach,
So,
I don't know what I would have been researching, but
the way that the scholarship goes is it's not about what you forgot or what you didn't know. It's essentially a time challenge. So the better you do, the less time it takes. So it's not about like, oh no, I don't know how to read books anymore. Like the joke of like rolling a natural 1 when making an intelligence check in D&D. This is more like instead of taking a few hours to research it, now you've just jumped down to a few days or a week in how to research it. So it essentially it increases or decreases your time as a how fate works with that kind of stuff. Okay, so I will say you are able to find Al's. You have enough. You have enough contacts in the spiritual world and in the supernatural world that you can find. Like, have you heard of Al's? It's like, oh yeah, it's just down by the wharf, and you are able to meander your way down there. And you and Manny both see this little squat house that's very nice, very ancient looking, and people just pass it by as if it's just not there.
All right. Manny, do me a favor and stay out here. I don't know how spirits interact with each other, and I don't want to put you in any danger.
He kind of like...
I mean, I'll just... If things get hairy, I'll get out of there. Don't worry. I'm not putting myself in any sort of danger here. Besides, it's just information. Nothing too crazy.
And he goes, good luck.
Yep. Bear it out. Tick, tick, tick.
So you go to knock on the door, and just like Nikki, the door opens as you're about to knock on it. Like, so your hand kind of almost passes, like almost perfectly timed.
Okay, walks in.
And those same crystal lattices light up. And unlike when Nikki entered, you see the lights lead you a little bit further in, and you see a nice dining room off to one side, a little bitty like book nook, a living room area kind of connected to the book nook, and eventually you get to what looks like a small, like the lights kind of guide you to this den. And you see a nice desk, very ancient oak, with mahogany trim. And seated at this desk is this weird spirit / ghost that you can just see has corporeal, and they are looking at you with kind of a quizzical look, like, what's going on here? And you hear in this almost dissonant but also sympathetic sound vibrations of two voices speaking at once. Hello, how may we help you?
That is interesting. Two ghosts, two at the same. I'm looking for information.
And information is what we provide.
I have heard. He takes off his ring. Have you seen the sister of this ring?
And instead of touching the ring, you feel this little tug on it, like almost magical, and it floats slightly closer to the spirit of Al. And Al gives it a once over. May we touch it?
If you touch it, will it break?
It shouldn't.
Yes.
And they wrap their hand around it. And Manny pops into the room next to you.
That's new.
Oh, we thought it had a connection. We were right. Hi. And they kind of wave at Manny.
Percy gives Manny a look that's basically like, check this out.
I don't. And then they like focus on the ring. Interesting. No, we've never felt this. And they let go of the ring and it floats back to you. But it feels. Yeah. Yeah. And then like you hear this weird, like very murmured, like conversation back and forth. Yes, it feels wrong.
As in unnatural or evil?
No, evil. Evil isn't real.
Yeah, I was. Takes out notebook. Is it real?
And then you hear like a little like murmur of like, yes, it is. It's like, no, shh. and you're not sure because you don't know enough about Al to know what's going on. So it feels.
He knows that there's two separate entities, though.
Yes, he knows.
I did specifically say like Allison and Alistair.
And for you, Al actually looks like there are two bodies in one space.
Yeah.
For you, for everybody else, it looks like just one person. For you, you can actually see the man, Alistair, his outline kind of superimposed on the body that is Al. And so you are probably one of the few people that can see both. Sometimes, as would happen with Nikki, one of them might push harder, but you can see both constantly, which is a little like disorienting. It's like, it's like you're seeing a doubly exposed film on top of itself. You're just like, I don't like looking at Al. No, that's not wrong. Yes, but Oh, we know what it is. Ha ha! That's interesting. Why? Yes, we think we know why, but you have to pay us first.
And you like information, yes?
We love information.
I know of an artifact that has made its way to Portland.
Ooh.
Oh, shit.
What kind of artifact?
What kind of information do you have?
I'm sorry, that's not how this works.
Well, then the information must not be good enough for this artifact. I do thank you for your time, though.
You're certainly welcome.
This trick, the 2 at 1, is that constant or is it something that you do for people when they come in? I have a vested interest in knowing if that can happen, and he's kind of motioning to Manny.
They look at Manny because they can see Manny.
Yeah.
No, we were a mistake, an accident. Thank you very much. Okay.
Hard to replicate then.
We were an accident. Yes, you and your friend. Your friend is. And they look at you, and they look at you for a minute. And then they look back at Manny. We do not think you are ready for the truth. We do not wish to hurt a new friend.
Well, then, I will take a compel to give this information over in exchange for the ring. Not the ring, but information on the ring. Specifically, a compel on Manny's silver ring, which is the crux of why he's in Portland.
I will give you a fate point for that.
All right. Nick has forgotten the name of the tablet, but Percy has not.
The Guardian of the Cur. The
Yes.
Tablet of Cur.
The Tablet of Cur is what is in Portland.
Fascinating. Yes. Yeah. Yes. We would like to see this tablet. We have heard of it. I think we know what it has. No. We know. We know. But we are suggesting that more information can be bought. It's always good to have repeat customers.
And I would love to do so.
Your ring is wrong because it lives in the past. You're out of time!
That would explain literally nothing. But you honored what you said you would. Unfortunately, the last time I ran off with this tablet, friends of mine got hurt. And I'm not willing to do that again.
Oh, we do not suggest you steal it. Stealing is wrong. Is it though? Maybe.
Percy's literally like You don't have to do that.
But we also like information. If you are able to bring it, we would love to see it.
So you don't need to see it so much as what's on it?
No, we would like to see the tablet. Much like your ring, we see more than you simple mortals. Shh, that's not nice. But they are. Yes, they are simple now.
I'll accept that. And I won't get angry about it.
And then you see them turn their focus on Manny and kind of like ignore you. Do not use your memories. They are all you have left.
Yeah, I told him that too.
We are not talking to you.
In the room. All right, I'll go stand over here.
The more you keep your memories, the longer you will be who you remember. Be careful. Thank you for shopping. I hope you enjoyed your stay.
Well,
Good luck.
Thank you, Al. I will most likely be back.
We look forward to that.
Interesting things always seem happy with the company I keep. And
he discorporates into like he just pulls apart, and you're like,
don't ever do that, Manny. That's very weird.
And in the last few seconds of our time tonight, with the scholarship rolls of 2, 1, and 1, it takes you a few days to acquire the knowledge that you wish. So, what specific things are you looking for?
I'm specifically looking into the fires.
Okay.
Yeah.
You note that, strangely, Portland Fire Department has a very low mortality rate. That there are fires in Portland, just like the normal city, but the mortality rate for fires in Portland is incredibly low. Harmony.
I want to look into the provenance of the tablet, who sent it, where it came from. I mean, obviously it's Sumerian, so I know like where it definitely originated from, but who sent it, why was it submitted, the sort of question she probably wouldn't normally ask. Except that
you are able to find a manifest and track it down. The Sargon Corporation was responsible for bringing that tablet to Portland.
Great.
And Andy.
I guess that would have left me with the lighthouses. Is that the other thing that we were looking into?
Mm-hmm.
And the tides.
The tides and lighthouses.
One of the many things.
You know that the tidal range in Maine isn't amazing. Like, it's not like Bay of Fundy kind of like 15 feet like up and down kind of shenanigans. Sure. So there's not like a hidden island that appears at low tide. I mean, there are bits and pieces of islands that get exposed and then covered back up with the tides.
Sure.
So that kind of seems like, while it doesn't seem like a dead end as far as like moon tides, like that kind of, you're not really seeing any tidal connections right now. And with the lighthouses, you know that there are a string of lighthouses all the way up the Maine coast, because Maine's coast is very rocky and very, very bedrocky. And so they have to have lots of lighthouses to warn ships away. And so from a scholarly standpoint, you found that there are a decent number of lighthouses. You also note that there is several lighthouses inside of Portland, and you learn that the Portland Observatory, which is now kind of a weird lighthouse, is run by one. I write down her name where I could find it. Probably not, because why would I do a smart thing like that? Nope. Nope, that's the EMT. Crap. I can't find her name right now, but it is run by a woman that I will have to unfortunately get you the name later because I can't find where I wrote her name down. And I don't want to guess. And she is a proponent of restoring the lighthouses.
And the Portland Observatory is a pretty prominent lighthouse.
Yeah, it's in the downtown area. It's actually, as I think CJ/Cole pointed out, it was used to see if ships were about to dock so they could be extorted for money.
Okay. Would I know if it's in a, like, any kind of magically significant, like, as far as, like, the land goes, area?
It runs kind of... It's probably situated near one of the ley lines in Portland.
Okay.
But the Portland Peninsula is kind of a little bit thick with ley lines.
Sure.
And then you also know that the South Portland area has a bunch of lighthouses, and then there is the Portland Head Lighthouse, which is one of the more famous, picturesque lighthouses. In point of fact, it is, I believe, if I am correct, the lighthouse that is on our splash screen for our Twitch overlay.
There's probably no significance to that one at all.
I think that might not be it. Might be the battery keys. Might be the battery keys. Nope, that's not it either. It's one of those. It's one of the big lighthouses. There's a lot, like I said, there's a boatload of lighthouses.
A lot of lighthouses. Okay.
So yeah.
All right.
So with that, it is now 11 o'clock. So we will end for the evening. However, I feel like you have started to collect some pieces and started to solve some pieces. And so we will consider this a minor advance for characters, or a minor milestone. So what that means is you are able to switch the rank values of any 2 skills. You get to choose one of the following. Switch the ranks of any 2 skills. You can replace one average skill with one that isn't on your sheet. So if you haven't been using a skill and you'd rather have something else in its place, you could do that. You can change any single stunt for another stunt. So if you had a stunt, you haven't been using it, and you want to switch out a different stunt. You can purchase stunts and powers, provided you have the refresh to do so. So if Harmony with her 2 refresh wants to knock down to 1 refresh and get a different power, or if anyone else wants a different power or stunt with refresh to do so, they may. And you may rename one aspect if you think you have made enough progress to rename an aspect. Something like earning back the wizard's trust. This is one of those instances when you could rename that aspect. We don't have to do it now. You can think about it, reflect on it, figure it out. We can talk about it offline as the week goes on. But I just want to let you all know that you have earned a minor milestone, and you are getting perhaps even close to earning a major milestone, depending on what happens in the next few sessions.
Oh boy.
So I hope you all had fun. I hope all of you watching had fun and or enjoyed my plethora of NPCs tonight. We kind of went a little bit crazy with those. I am the GM. My name is Adam Pearson, and I am found on Twitter at Adam_J_Pearson. And my lovely players can give their outros. And why don't we go with your favorite moment tonight? And we will start with Zach.
Hey, I'm Zach. I use he/him pronouns. I play Andy, who also uses he/him pronouns. You can find me at Sir Gorals on Twitter, and here every Friday night, where we continue to see if we burn Portland to the ground this night or not. 4 for 4, 0 fires so far. My favorite, gosh, there were so many great moments. It's hard to pick. So one of mine was definitely meeting with Lord Malvora, because I was shaking the whole time, like my hands. I was so nervous. And then Cole meeting Gil. Like, Gil was just a treasure.
Excellent. Moving down to Natalie.
Hi, my name is Natalie, also known as Chaotic Rogue. That's the best place to find me is on Twitter at Chaotic Rogue, where you can see the other various streams I'm in. You can catch me on Sunday at noon on Gold Heart Gaming, where we're playing Legacy of Eldrin, which is a homebrew D&D 5e game, or on Tuesdays for One More Tuesday on Unmade Gaming, where we're playing the finale of Princesses of Sky Sea, and then I'll be down to just one fake game a week. But we are princesses, and it's absolutely ridiculous, and I think we're going into Voltron basically next week, so it'll be great. Otherwise, you can catch me at the Mage College. You can find us at themagecollege.com or on Twitter, where we come up with other TTRPG content. We just came out with a Fire Soul Sorcerer that's on DM's Guild right now, and we do other cool stuff that's on our Patreon, and I think that's all. No, I've been in a podcast lately. Just actually follow me. That's way easier. I'm in too many things. I've been playing Root on Terrible Warriors. That's a podcast that's out, I think, finished now, 4 episodes for that one. I don't know what I'm doing. Favorite time, though, tonight. Well, the Marlboro was so good because I really just wanted to get in my flirting with danger real hard. Cass's new goal is give everybody her number. It's going to be great. I loved meeting Gil. And Cass and Natalie love the summer coin.
Excellent.
I'm so excited.
Excellent. No bad things will ever happen.
I'm so excited for that coin.
Moving down the list, Danielle.
Hi, everybody. I'm Danielle. I'm at RideRackandTour on Twitter. You can follow me for fun, nerdy things. As far as other streams, tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern on at Other Doc's channel, I am in an Invisible Sun game as a very charismatic weaver who also likes fire. Definitely a theme. And then on Tuesdays, you can catch me over on at Scraticus's channel for my game, The Choir of Elements, where I am the GM, and they are about to be attacked in an airship. And then Wednesdays, back here at Variant Rolls. Just this past week, we started Season 2 of Dungeons & Deductibles, which is my fantasy insurance claims adjusters game, which is a terrible amount of fun and extremely goofy, and you should definitely come hang out with us for that. So favorite moment tonight was our conversation in sushi books, because I feel like there was just a really sky high amount of personal drama as we were all hedging on various personal things and discovering all of the terrible decisions that we had made in private.
And you definitely had a numerous amount of like, what? Wait, what? Wait, what? That was classic. Excellent. Slipping over to Nick. Nope, you're muted.
Yes, I am muted. I am also Nick. You can find me at 2KNick, TWOKNIKK on the Twitter machine. I also help run Roll for Change, which is a charity that does tabletop RPGs to help those who need it. We will be doing a stream in October, and we are looking for GM/DMs. So if you are interested, reach out to us at roll4change. My favorite moment, although I very much enjoyed the scene in Sushi Books as well for that reason, I think I'd have to give it to the Malvora conversation because of the tension that existed throughout the entirety of it. And also the dad and daughter on both sides vibe that it was there.
Yep. That was definitely a thing.
Palpable tension.
It'll be fun. Excellent. Moving on to Selena.
Hi, I'm Selena. I'm ABCD Far on the tweeters. You can find me here. I'm not really doing anything else at the moment. But I'd say my favorite moment was meeting Al for the first time, because I actually got, I was not expecting a death threat in that conversation at all. So, or at least not a death threat specifically, but the possibility that you could die talking to this person. So I thought that was really fun and interesting and cool. Yeah.
I love my spellcasters casually homicidal. That's fine. Last but certainly not least, CJ.
I'm sorry, everyone, for all of the summer court, winter court, wild fate trouble that I have. No, I'm not. I'm not sorry at all. Not even a little bit. I'm Jay. I am Commander Pulsar on Twitch and Twitter. I think probably some of my favorite parts were the scenes that I wasn't in. Other people meeting my ex-girlfriend. Meeting Mel was great. Basically everybody kind of finding out more about Cole by the people he used to be with, both Gil and Mel. But yeah, I also love the heck out of Al. So top notch on NPCs. I want to kind of point out also Evil Hat. Guys, if you get a chance, go to their website, evilhat.com. They've got great stuff. You can get PDFs of the very game we're playing. They have an accelerated version of Dresden Files. Right now on Kickstarter, they're doing a bunch of cool stuff with a Greek myth style game called Aegon. So yeah, lots of cool Evil Hat related stuff. They're a real class act. So
they definitely are. Evil Hat may or may not own a piece of my soul. It's fine. We won't talk about that.
It's an aspect
that
keeps
too, Adam.
But yes, we love Evil Hat. A brief reminder for those of you still in chat. It is technically still September for like 2 more days, 3 more days. So subs are currently half off. You should sub to the channel that you love, and hopefully you love us. So you sub here. But if not, sub where you can. Support your local awesome streamers. And
sub 2 places for the price of 1.
Exactly. We hope you are here next week because I'm sure everything will be fine.
Yeah.
Stay whimsical, and is it Friday yet? Good night, everyone.
See ya.
Hearts.